most overlooked areas of quality pitching is your rapport with your home plate umpire. It's not black and white behind the plate, and a lot of calls can go either way. Close calls can make a big difference in a game. So there's nothing more frustrating than the umpire to miss some close calls because you have not communicated well with him before the game. So here are my 5 absolutes for communicating with the home plate umpire. Rule number 1. Before the game, introduce yourself by name to the home plate umpire. Make sure you use his name whenever you speak to him through the game. If he's a little bit older than you, consider calling him Mr. whatever his last name is. Now that sounds a little corny and old-fashioned maybe, but believe me, he will respect you for it, and also it puts you in the right frame of mind. Rule number 2, give the umpire a heads up on your game plan. For example, say you're warming up and your slider's breaking really nice. Let him know, look, I'm going to be throwing a slider tonight. It breaks a lot. It catches the inside corner on a right-hander. Just talk to him, let him know what you're doing. That way the first time he sees it and it breaks in and hits the corner, he's not surprised by it. Believe me, I've made the mistake before of not giving the umpire a heads up on what I'm planning to do during the game. It never hurts. Rule number 3, make sure the umpire's watching you while you throw your warm-up pitches. Make sure you throw your best breaking pitches during this warm-up on the mound. That way he can see the break of the pitch. This goes well with rule number 2, which is give him a heads up on your game plan. Also, this is a good time to test his high pitch and his low pitch, where he's going to call you legal or illegal. This way he's not trying to figure your pitches out in the first inning, and you're way ahead of your opposing pitcher since you've already had this communication with the umpire. Now, through this process of giving him a heads up and then working with him during your warm-up pitches, it's actually set him up to work with you through the game from the very first pitch. Rule number 4, never show up the umpire. Now, if you followed rule 1, 2, and 3, you're not likely to do this since you're already having a good rapport. However, sometimes in the heat of a game, you might be tempted to dispute a call. You might make some gestures or hand motions. It just makes you look like a jerk, so don't do it. And besides, you're not allowed to argue balls and strikes anyway. However, what you can do between innings, if you feel like he's taking a certain range of pitches away from you, for example, often I don't get the low pitch, and this is very common. A pitch at 6 feet or 6.5 feet, most of the time they call that flat when it is clearly a legal pitch. If you're not getting that range of calls that you think you should be getting, you can discuss that with him between innings in a very respectful way. And finally, rule number 5. After the game, no matter the outcome, go to the umpire and thank him. Now, this might seem corny, old-fashioned again, but it just shows class and leadership on your part. You don't have to make a big deal about it, just a friendly hat tip will do. Full disclosure here, I don't live up to all these rules the way I'd like to, but the closer I follow them, the better pitcher I am. And I promise you, if you follow them, you'll be a better pitcher too.